This is the redesigned 2026 Subaru Outback. Now, if you remember the old Outback, and well, actually all the Outbacks before then, they were wagons. Now, a lot of people have been saying this new one, it's an SUV now. Well, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm James Riswick. Let's check out the Subaru Outback in this review powered by Capital One Auto Navigator. Okay, so the new Outback, it is boxier than it was before. It's also about 1.5 inches taller overall, but the rest of the dimensions, length, width, wheelbase, ground clearance, rear legroom, if they're not identical, well, they're very, very close. Even the proportions here at the side, they're very wagony. If anything, it's like a wagon wearing an SUV costume now. So there is another key dimension difference. The cargo area. The old Outback's cargo area was deep and it was wide, and you'd be surprised by how much you could fit back there. The new one has picked up about 2 cubic feet of space, and this boxiness does make a difference in terms of how easy it is to store things inside. Basically, it's gone from really huge to really gigantic. Now, that's not the end of the cargo story. Now, the new Outback has these raised ladder-type roof rails. Now, that means that you can use the crossbars you already own and can swap between cars. There's no need to buy specially sized crossbars that you have to buy from a dealer, or worse, bars that screw into very specific points into what are effectively fake rails. These are better. Up front is where you'll see the biggest changes, and not just for the Outback, but for most of the Subaru lineup as well. This touchscreen, it is all new. So it's no longer portrait oriented. These climate controls, they're completely separate, and the graphics don't look like they're from 2008. All good. But one thing that remains, these buttons are really big, so they're easy to see and press while you're driving. Now, in terms of equipment, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, and all trims but the premium include a Harman Kardon sound system, this wireless charger, and integrated navigation. Now, you might be thinking, why do I need nav when Google Maps exists? Well, if you're out in the middle of nowhere like I am without a cell signal, well, you can still search for an address and get directions with an integrated navigation system. Now, the map and directions also show up in the instrument panel. Storage up here is better, but still only so-so. The cup holders, they're great. Big test here. Yeah, these fit and it's secure. And then a big old water bottle like this, well, not only will it fit the doors, but this area is lined in a carpet-like material instead of hard plastic. It's just that the bins, they're kind of small and more non-existent. You're gonna find a lot more places to store your odds and ends in a Honda Passport or any number of compact SUVs. Back seat, there are air vents, USB-A and USB-C ports, as well as heated seats in certain trim levels. There's also a lot of room back here. These rows are pretty far apart, which is great for legroom and for fitting a great big child seat inside, and the legs that will dangle down from it. Now, all that extra overall height I mentioned, well, you pretty much get the same amount of extra headroom in the back as well. So, you know, you can wear a pretty big hat now. Want to see more videos about the latest cars, trucks, SUVs, and, well, wagons? Subscribe to the Capital One Auto Navigator channel. There are 2 engines available. This standard engine has a 2.5-liter Boxer 4, good for 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Has a continuously variable transmission that kinda sorta simulates gear shifts. And since it's a Subaru, it has standard all-wheel drive. Now, in terms of acceleration, yeah, it can be a bit strained, especially up a mountain, and it can be a bit loud. But it's fuel efficient, gets 27 miles per gallon combined. Now, on the XT trim levels, there's a turbocharged Boxer 4 that produces 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. It makes a big difference. It is quicker, it is quieter, and it's just better. Okay, except for fuel economy. It's 24 miles per gallon combined, or 23 with the extra off-roady wilderness model. Now, those engines basically carried over from the previous generation. It's actually the rest of the driving experience that's been improved. The steering, it's better on center, it's more precise, and it provides a lot more confidence. There's less body motion, around corners. And that's especially true of the Wilderness model, which still towers over all of the others with 9.5 inches of ground clearance. That is so much. I would say if you're going to be tackling dirt roads and even trails, that Wilderness is the one to seriously consider. But in general, the Outback does tend to perform better off-road than the typical compact SUV. The Outback's ride is still very comfortable, and in general, this just drives more refined than the Forester and a lot of those compact SUVs. So if you're looking for a reason why this tends to cost more than those SUVs, that's a pretty good one. Speaking of which, pricing starts at around $36,000, including destination, and those turbo trims start around 10 grand north of that. That is a lot cheaper than a Honda Passport. Now, it is about 3 to 5 grand more than a comparable Forester trim level, but again, I would say that this is about that much better. In terms of safety, this got a Top Safety Pick Plus award from the IIHS, and in terms of its various driver assistance systems, well, they're all standard, including reverse automatic braking, which is rare, and these don't beep and vibrate and bug you as much as Subaru's last generation of driver assistance systems. Good. Despite the changes, the new Outback still does the things that Outbacks have done really well for a really long time. For hauling gear, be it inside or outside, to far-flung places, whether that's on-road or off-road, it gets the job done at a competitive price. So whether you want to call it an SUV or a wagon, honestly, whatever, it's still pretty good. Now, for more information about the Subaru Outback, as well as any of its competitors, make sure to go to Capital One Auto Navigator.